Oh boy. It is Friday night, December 23rd. It's Christmas weekend, and I'm headed to Massachusetts. I'm gonna try to hunt tomorrow. You know, I haven't had an exciting day on the ground for, other than, well, on the ground in snow for a few years. I think the last one was 2014 Thanksgiving Day in Vermont. But I haven't done much hunting on the ground. I mean, I've kind of been doing it half-assedly the last couple days. I come down at the end of the year when it's really cold. But I haven't, last year I hunted conditions like this, and I tracked a buck. He was a good buck, but I never caught up to him. And he went, well, it seemed like a long ways. It was tough going, but I am not in good shape. I got short legs, I'm fat. I'm not built for tracking. So, but that doesn't mean I shouldn't give it a try, because it can be successful. And you know what? What I need to do is tangle with a deer that isn't that far ahead of me. Because if I can get on the track, I can close, the last quarter mile pretty good. But if I get on a track that's already a mile ahead of me with the kind of shape I'm in, I know I'm not going to catch it. I didn't see any deer tracks. I know what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm going to go right down by the river. That's where I walked last Saturday, and I saw 2 deer down there and a bunch of tracks. So I think that's where I'll start tomorrow. But I'll try to update. It's hard to pull the camera out when you're in the middle of trudging through the woods, but we'll see. Alright. We're at deer camp. Pretty nice deer camp right here. See if we can get one hanging in that shed tomorrow. Alright, I finally found a track that I'm going to try to follow. A bunch of guys got here before me. I got a late start, but apparently this deer crossed after they drove through because nobody stopped to look at it. It looks like a decent, I don't know, I haven't determined if it's a buck yet. I've only looked, but I got a doe tag. It's a pretty good size track. Oh, it went right in through there. Pretty fresh. So I'm gonna take this track, see what happens. All right, I've come into a lot of different tracks and it's been confusing, but I finally came up and found some beds. There's the first bed there. Looks like a doe. Now it looks to me like a buck came and chased him off. I can see fresher tracks taken off that direction, but I see more beds over here, so I want to just check out. There's a bed right here, a little one. Small bed right there. This is too big to be one bed. I think it's 2 beds. Either the deer sat and then turned around and faced that way, but there's 3 beds here, but 2 of them are connected. It looks like these deer went that direction out of their beds, but I see what it looks like. But running deer, bucks have been chasing them. I'm telling you, the rut is still going on. Because right here, I can see the freshest tracks. That's a pretty good track right there. Took off. 2 deer took off running. Right here. Right through there. So, either I jumped them, or it's a buck pushing a doe. but I'm gonna follow. You can see they were running, bounding. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna take those tracks. They seem to be the freshest. It's raining, freezing rain. There was one set well, he saw where I started across the road there. I don't know where I am. I've gone about a quarter of a mile so far, but they're kind of following the road. They're just back in. Once I get a little further, I'm going to get my phone out and just figure where I am. But all right, so tracking goes in stages, you know, and this is another stage now. If these deer were bedded here, which I think they were, now I just gained a bunch of ground on them. So it's like a new part of the hunt. Now I'm on to phase 2. All right. Well, definitely 3 or 4 deer were in here bedding last night. I just came through there. I've been following these deer. I can't figure out if I jumped them out of the bed or if the buck came and pushed them, but they've been running quite a bit. That's a good track right there. I think that's a buck. What happened here is they started to slow down. They came to this log and one deer turned and looked up this way, thinking about going that direction, but they ended up, look how much bigger that track is than the other ones. You can see right there. That's going to be the buck. But they end up going right down here and then they start going downhill. It's pretty thick in here. I'm going to use Rodney Elmer's tip, you know, or actually Taylor's tip about watching the tracks as far as you can and then going to a spot. Well, actually, I'm going to walk around here because I don't want to walk through there, but still not, it's hard to tell how fresh. I mean, the tracks are fresh. I mean, they're within hours, but I don't know if they're right now, like deer that I'm pushing, or if it was, you know, a couple hours ago. But I did cross one of the trails. There was a truck parked down and he walked up the trail and the deer crossed his tracks, and I'm certain they crossed after he went through because he never even stopped to look at him. They didn't step in his tracks, so I can't confirm 100%, but he would have at least stopped, and he was just walking on a steady pace. So those deer definitely came through after he did. And if he came through at first light, I think I'm pushing these deer. I think I pushed them out of their beds. I'd rather not. I'd rather have it be a buck pushing them, because if I pushed them, they probably know I'm on them now and they're going to hear me. It's wicked crunchy. I'm not going to, I don't know how long I'm going to last today, but it's fun. I like tracking, but so far I've just been hoofing it, you know, trying to catch up to these deer. I'd like to find a second set of beds. We'll see. I don't know exactly where I am. I guess I'll pull the phone out and just, I'm pretty sure the main road is that way. But, all right. So it's about an hour in now. I'll probably track these deer about a half mile so far. It's been fairly easy going. I mean, nothing terribly steep or terribly thick so far, but it's good, pretty thick woods for the most part. But these deer, it's so crunchy that they're gonna just hear me. I keep looking at that track. That's a good track. That's a buck. See how it's rounded? And yeah, it's a good track right there. I'm gonna stay on these deer. Just take a little breather and then I'm going. About an hour ago, I stopped to call Chet, and I left him a voicemail, and then I was just putting the phone in my bag, and I heard something, I heard crashing, I heard something, limbs breaking, and I was kind of like, I froze for a second, and then it dawned on me, I said, that's deer coming. My gun was leaning against a tree about 8 feet away from me, so I had to put the phone down. I quickly grabbed my gun and got it up, and I think that movement, the deer saw me, because just as I was looking up, I saw a deer, and it was coming right towards me, and then it turned and came up, and then there's a second one, and the second one, as it turned and ran away, it looked like that wide 8-pointer, that it's a wide rack buck. So I don't know if it was a buck. I thought I might have seen a wide rack if it was, as it was going away, but I wasn't sure, you know. Is you know, your mind plays tricks on you. So I decided to keep staying on the tracks I was on, even though I had a feeling those might have been the deer that I was tracking. But I said, well, they were running towards me, and the deer that I'm tracking, I think, are running away from me. So anyways, I kept on the track, and about 20 minutes later, I come up on another hunter that came up, and he cut me off. Well, come to find out, I saw him. He was in a tree stand, so he wasn't tracking. And then those deer had gone straight out and then turned around and came back. So I got it all sorted out, and I've come back, and sure enough, those deer I saw I saw 2 of the 3, but it was the same group that I've been tracking all morning. So I wasted a lot of energy. I should have just, when I saw those deer, but I wasn't sure if it was a buck or not. And I don't know. I should have just, when I saw him, I should have gone after him. Now came back to where I jumped them, or where they saw me, and they turned, and the buck is coming up away from where I want to go. I'm running out of steam here. I've been going for 3-4 hours now, and I'm not in good shape. But I've been doing good today. I really have. I'm surprised I've made it this far. My back is starting to hurt. I think I've gone about close to 2 miles so far. I'll have to check it, but I think I was a mile down. Well, it's going to be 2 miles when I get back to my Jeep. I'm not going to follow them. I don't have the energy. I'm going to cut it this way. And who knows, there was a lot of deer sign down in there. And every once in a while some snow breaks off of a limb. 2 of the deer did go that way. I think the doe and fawn. I got a doe tag. So we'll see what happens. Boy, a lot of tracks. I'm surprised. Usually I was wrong. I thought the day after the storm it was going to be dead, but they moved good last night. They were feeding good, and they're moving this morning. They're running around. And it very well could have been, well, I thought maybe the reason why they were running when they saw me was because a buck was chasing the doe, but I don't believe so. I think it's us hunters in here. Hunters pushing them around. They smelled that guy in the tree stand probably. That's why they were running back towards me. Because the reason why I don't think the buck was chasing the doe is because the buck is split off. Now, if I had the energy, if I was Rodney Elmer or Brad Lockwood, I would be going on this buck, and I'd probably kill him if I was one of those guys. But I'm not. I'm Nate Smead. I'm a tree stand hunter. I ain't got it in me. My legs are too short, I'm too fat, and I'm too out of shape. But it's fun, you know. Every once in a while when there's snow, I do enjoy tracking. And sometimes I get lucky and find a set of deer that didn't go very far. But today, the crust, it's too loud. You can't. It's just not going to happen. Today was just getting exercise, and it was good practice. But it ain't going to happen. Especially not in these woods. Because most of the woods I'm going through, you can only shoot about 50 yards. And the deer are going to hear you 300 yards away. All right, I'm going to take a little breather and drink some water, and then I'm going to cut that way. And I'm going to ease my way out. I'm not on any tracks now, so I'm just going to still hunt, take it easy, and who knows? There's deer around here. I mean, there could be a buck around any corner. You never know. All right, over and out. All right, I'm all done, and here's the reason why. It wasn't so bad first thing this morning, but now it's coming up towards noon, and there's a real crust. It's really raining, freezing rain. It was fun, you know. I get to see 2 deer. I would say I caught up to them, but I really didn't. They were coming back towards me, but it was the deer I was tracking, so I got to put my eyes on them. I don't know. Didn't see them good enough to tell what it was, but what they were. All right, I'm all done for today. Well, it's Christmas morning. I decided not to hunt this morning. I'm leaving Massachusetts, heading back to Vermont. So I drove down here all afternoon Friday in bad weather, snow, and I'm driving back home in the same conditions. I probably should have left last night, but in my heart I wanted to hunt this morning, but my mind told me differently. When I got up and I said, you know what, there's a hard crust, and then there's just an inch or two when I got up on top of it, which made it kind of dangerous to walk on. Half inch of ice covered with 2 inches of powdery snow. But I think this will be the end of my season, 2017 deer season. I could hunt next Saturday down here in Mass, but I think I'm into ice fishing mode now. My mind has shifted with that little bit of ice fishing I did yesterday. So now it's time to switch gears and devote my time, anytime that I'm not working, to ice fishing. Here's one. There's one. What do we have here? I should say crappie. Little one. Like I said, when the crappie come in, little one. That one didn't hesitate though. Usually Christmas Day is my first day on the ice, and this year I beat it by a whole day. So, all right, well, about to get out on the main road. So I'll probably put the camera down, but it's been a good year. Learned a lot this year, as always. It's a constant learning experience for me, deer hunting, and it's exciting to learn new things, and I'm looking forward to next year. My mind is already, you know, in motion, thinking what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna put cameras, the spots. I got some ideas for stand locations, but I'm gonna start with cameras in June, July, something like that. So it's a year-round endeavor, and it's because I love to do it, and it's a challenge. It really is a challenge, but if you want to do it, you want to put in the time, you're willing to, you enjoy doing it, you'll be rewarded eventually. Might take you a few years, but you'll get there. All right, what do we got here? Every set of tracks I see crossing the road, that looks like a dog. Yep, that's a dog from the house. All right, I'm rambling. Time to go. Adios.